And welcome back. We're going to take a quick break from learning JavaScript syntax to show you how JavaScript gets implemented in the browser. We're going to go back to this image that we've seen many times before in this course. And we have a pretty good idea of what HTML and CSS does. If you remember, HTML gets sent to the browser, then it sees the link tag, and the CSS gets sent to the browser. But what about our new friend JavaScript over here? What happens with him? Well, in this video, we're going to learn exactly that. So I have over here an index.html file. I'm going to open it with Google Chrome. It's completely empty now. And I'm also going to drag it to my Sublime text so that we can add something to it. So I have Sublime text in the browser, and we're going to use our little short command to create a quick HTML file, JavaScript, and let's just have a simple header that says JavaScript in HTML. Save and refresh. Perfect. We're masters at this already. We all know what's going on. So how do we add JavaScript to this? I mean, with CSS, we had the link tag, right? And we had this href where we tell it where it is. Well, if you remember, JavaScript, again, just like HTML and CSS, is just a file. So let's create one first. In Sublime Text, I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to say script.js. See the .js at the end? That means JavaScript. Notice what happens when I click save. At the bottom, Sublime Text now converted the syntax to JavaScript. So now I can write something like 4 plus 3, and I get the cool JavaScript colors. I can write if 4 plus 3 equals 7. I can alert you're smart. So you can see that it does the syntax for me. Okay, perfect. I'm going to just save that. Let's see if we can add this to, I forgot the semicolon here. I always forget it too. Let's add this to our HTML. If it works, we'll get an alert saying you're smart. So how can we do this? Well, there's an HTML tag called script tag. So link tag for style sheet, script tag for JavaScript. And all we do is this. We have the type text JavaScript. You see over here how with CSS we have text CSS. Well, we're telling it that this is JavaScript. And in here, JavaScript can be written right over here. If I go alert hello, and you might remember this because it's kind of like the style tag for CSS. Let's see what happens. I'm going to refresh, and I get hello. Look at that. We just added JavaScript to our HTML. But I really want to use this file. As we know with CSS, we don't necessarily want our JavaScript to live on HTML. We want separation of concerns. We want the JavaScript in the JavaScript file. Well, the way we do that is through a source file. So all we do is source. And you might remember this from images. So instead of href and link, we have source, and we say script.js. I save, and I refresh, and I get you're smart. Now, again, we can say script.js because, well, it's in the same folder. It's in the desktop folder. If it wasn't, then let's say this HTML wasn't in the desktop folder, we'd have to do something like desktop. Okay. So That's very interesting. What if I have multiple JavaScript files? We might have seen that in, remember Bootstrap? In Bootstrap, we had like 3 script tags. Well, yeah, you can just like you can with Link, you can have multiple script tags. And you can just say script 2, script 3. And again, each one gets executed one at a time. Okay. Now, one question you might have is, why did I just put the script tag at the bottom here, at the bottom of the body? Why didn't we, and let me just remove this for now, why didn't we just put it at the top like we do with the CSS file? Well, let me show you something. Let's put it up here. Let's see what happens. I'm going to refresh. Okay, I get you're smart. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see the JavaScript go? Let's change this quickly. Let's say our website is now fresh and new, and I'm going to say, waiting for JavaScript. I'm going to save. Notice what happens to the header. I refresh. It hasn't changed yet. I have to click You're Smart. Do you see it? It's completely gone. Click OK. And only then it shows up. Because the browser reads the file, goes and gets the CSS file, and then sees a script tag and says, "Ooh, I'm going to go read what's over here." And here is an alert. And what an alert does, it waits for us to click OK. So the browser can't display waiting for JavaScript. So you will see in older websites people that put the script tags in here, but that actually delays what gets seen by the user. Instead, if we put it down here and change the text again to not waiting, I'm going to save. Let's see what happens. Not waiting for JavaScript. That got changed. So we ideally want to put our script tags at the bottom of the body. What that means is that the website gets displayed, gets rendered, and then we have to still wait for the JavaScript to load. Let's say we had a cool animation. It'll have to wait until that loads, but to a user, it appears like the website loads a lot faster because they might not click on a drop-down menu or see the animation right away and notice that there's a lag, but they will see a delay if they don't see anything on the page. So script tags at the bottom. One last thing. How do we get that console to print stuff out? It would be nice if instead of alert all the time, I can get something in the console. Well, in JavaScript, you can do something called console.log. And here I can say, hello. So this syntax is a little bit weird. I'll explain later on what is going on here, but console.log is a special little syntax that we can use. And now if I refresh the page, I get logging over here. So I can write as much as I want here, kind of like alert, but without getting that annoying pop-up over and over. And refresh, and I get hello. And we'll be using console log a lot in the next couple of videos. You can see here that it's a nice way for us to print something to the console before we learn how to change our HTML. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.